Hey everyone, it's Mike Andes, and you're listening to the Business Bootcamp podcast. Today, we are going to be talking about Brian's Lawn Maintenance, who is a YouTuber on, obviously, YouTube, and does landscaping and lawn care videos, and has grown his channel immensely over the past couple years. We're going to be talking about 5 different ways he has done that, and why I believe he's going to get to 1 million subscribers on YouTube, and 5 things that we can learn in all of our businesses using the methods that have gotten his success. Before we get into today's show, though, a big thank you to today's sponsor, which is Gusto. If you haven't already, go to gusto.com/bootcamp. Try out their software completely free for 90 days. You can do direct deposits. You can do all of your benefits, and for your employees, get their W-2s done very, very quickly as we approach the end of 2020 and the year. Get the reports done very quickly, and it's very affordable. Check it out today. Go to gusto.com/bootcamp. All right, so if you haven't watched any of Brian's videos, I highly recommend you subscribe to his channel. Awesome YouTuber, and has built a lawn care business. For me, I'm out in the Pacific Northwest, so different climate perhaps than his, and over in kind of like the middle of the United States kind of area, and so definitely a different market, but absolutely we can all learn from other people's successes and their failures. And so I want to talk about 5 different things that Brian has done that has got him so many subscribers and allowed him and his family to do so well financially and things like that. Now they're building their own home and just really been able to achieve things that they didn't even think were possible. Now he has a podcast and a whole bit. So best of wishes to him we're in the holiday season, and his family, and just a great all-around guy. I've talked about Brian in the past in terms of meeting him at GIE and the conference for the landscaping industry, and just seeing him in person and just how much it was so matching up with his personality on camera. So we'll talk about that in a bit, but let's talk about the 5 things I think made Brian's lawn care successful and get to over 100,000 subscribers. Number 1, he's engaging with his audience and with his customers. All right, so if you look on his videos, you can go to the comment section. You can see that he likes the comments, he replies to a lot of the comments, and is actively engaged in the community. He comes to the events, he goes into groups, he chats with people, he responds back to customers and subscribers when they respond to him. So the same way that he does that is what I feel like us as business owners should be doing for our customers. And whether you have subscribers on YouTube doesn't matter. It's customers, all right? So the same way that Brian's living is coming from YouTube, he looks at his subscribers as customers. What do they want? Well, how can I help them? How can I be involved with them? And so in your small business, what can you do to get involved with your customers? Can you get into local Facebook groups? Can you get into local Nextdoor groups? Can you make sure that you're engaged in local community events? Staying engaged with your customer base and where they're at is very important. When they ask questions, being timely to response. Those are all things that Brian does in his channel, and that's why he has such a loyal following. Number 2 is listen to what the customer wants and what's working, and then just keep pounding it. Okay, so if you look through the most popular videos on Brian's channel, you're going to see a lot of reviews for equipment. And so you can see a lot of his big winners in terms of views are the ones that have equipment reviews. So knowing a little bit about YouTube is product review videos make really good ad revenue. The reason for that is because usually people that are looking to buy something are searching for the name or brand of an ATV or a mower or a truck or a certain type of dump insert or plow. And so he uses those keywords inside of his title, and then he is able to make a product review and offer value to his customers. They love the videos. They want those videos. A lot of his subscribers, customers are lawn care providers, landscapers, people in the green industry. And so they are actively needing this information to grow their business. He knows that. He sees it in the views. They're going up. And then he produces the value, and he's able to make great CPM. That's the amount of money that YouTube is willing to give someone based upon the number of views. So for example, you might have a $3 or $4 CPM that's cost per 1,000 views on YouTube for something like a comedy video or some funny videos that someone makes in their backyard or something like that. But for a product review, you can easily make $15, $20 CPM, cost per 1,000 views, by the fact that when people come to these videos, they're actively looking to buy, and therefore the ads that come in front of them, they're usually more inclined to purchase things, as well as the retailer or the manufacturer is willing to pay more to get in front of the people watching a product review video than they are in front of someone that's watching funny cat videos, right? And so great strategy, and that is when your customers tell you what they want and it's working, keep pounding it. I can't overemphasize this enough when it comes to marketing. I see someone do door hangers and they're working really well, and then all of a sudden they hear someone talk about Facebook ads and like, oh, I should do Facebook ads, and they go do Facebook ads. And then someone else they hear about, Google ads. Oh, Google. Like, if one thing is working for you and you have a great, thing going for you, just keep doing it. Keep pounding that same thing when it comes to marketing, when it comes to a certain product that you've built and now is really doing well, or a certain service that you're advertising. Keep pounding the thing that works. And that's what Brian has done so well when it comes to product review videos. Number 3 is be true to you and your style. Okay? On camera, if you're going to try to be someone who you aren't, it's going to come across when you're in person at events with your fans, with your customers, whatever it might be. So what I love about Brian is the way he's on camera is the same way that he is when you meet him in person. So when I met him at GIE, just an incredible personality in terms of communication, and handshake, the way that he handshake, the way the eye contact, everything was just spot on and so consistent with the way that he portrayed himself on camera. You look at celebrities like Ellen or people that have been really popular in Hollywood, and then they have these big reveals of the way that they acted off camera or behind stage to other people that was contrary to the way that they presented themselves in front of the camera. People like Brian who are true and authentic to themselves on camera and can be that same way off camera, and that's just who they are. Like, if you're just who you are on camera, and if you're just who you are in front of your customers and in front of your employees, you don't have to put a facade on because it's just you. Be undeniably you, and therefore you can be consistently you. You don't have to put on things. You don't have to try to make a facade in front of certain people. That's why we love Brian. And that leads me to number 4, which is be vulnerable. This is something Brian has done. This is something that we as leaders should do in our businesses, and that is be vulnerable to your customers, to your employees, showing where you've made mistakes, sharing that, hey, we haven't always had it all together, just perfectly. Now Brian is, very successful on YouTube, building a house, all these really cool things, and it's easy to get wrapped up in that, but he's willing to share the parts that weren't easy, the parts that he wasn't doing well, the parts that it wasn't like the business was just thriving. And so being vulnerable to share those weak spots and those moments when we didn't feel like we had it all together as business owners, very important to connect with your audience and employees if you have a team that you're working with. Number 5 is build the business for your lifestyle, as big as you need. This is what I like about Brian, and that is that he is not trying to build this massive business because he feels pressure to make himself look really good. What you got to do when it comes to your lawn care business, your landscaping business, is build the business for you and your lifestyle. Brian knows that he's going to have 1 or 2 employees that run the lawn care business, and he can focus on YouTube now going forward. This is what's going to get him to 1 million subs on YouTube, is the fact that he's focusing on, okay, I want to make better videos, better content, connect with my audience more. I'm going to do this, and I'm not going to allow the pressure to build a bigger business, get a bunch of employees, get a bunch of trucks, grow, make $1 million business. He's figured out that this size of business works really well for him. And there's plenty of lawn care and landscape professionals that should stick to 1, 2 employees or work solo, and that's what they need to operate in. That works best for their personality, best for their management style, best for what they need to provide for their family in terms of revenues. You don't need to make a $2 million business to make a comfortable business, comfortable earning and living for your family. Now, if you want to work outside the business on a day-to-day level, the reason Brian can do that is because he has YouTube. So if you want to do that, you probably will need to build the business to a bigger size before you step out of day-to-day operations. And we talk a lot about on this channel on strategies to build that business and build the systems in place so that the employees and your team can run the company without your daily involvement. But for some people, that just stresses them out. Having more employees, more trucks, more liability. They'd rather just have nice new trucks, new equipment, and stick with just themselves or maybe 2 or 3 trucks, and that's where they feel comfortable. You need to do what's right for you. Don't do what's right for me or for another guy, your competitor that you're comparing yourself to has 50 employees. You might not be even wanting to, willing, or able, from a financial or from a managerial or personality standpoint, experience level, to actually build that size of business. And you're just going to make yourself super stressed out. You're going to run the business into the ground. You're going to cause a bunch of financial issues. So do what's right for you. How does the business serve your lifestyle? My goal and mission is to change the level of professionalism in the landscaping industry. So yeah, I got to grow. I got to go big. I got to hire a lot of people and expand. We have 30 locations now around North America. That's all fine and good for me. But for some people, that's not their goal. Their goal is to provide for their family and be able to spend 3-4 days a week with them at home. And they do not need to be doing what I'm doing in terms of size. Do what's right for your lifestyle and make sure that the mission and the goal of the business aligns with your personal needs, and then be unapologetically committed to making the business the best at that stage of growth. I hope you enjoyed that, and make sure you go and subscribe to Brian's channel. Let's get him to 1 million in subs. Who else would you like me to do a review on? Another landscaper? Do you want me to do Keith Kalfas? There's a whole bunch of them. There's a whole bunch of other landscapers in this community that I love watching, and I enjoy seeing their success. So check out their channels and post below who you would like me to make a video about next and what they've done to be successful on YouTube or in their business. And I look forward to making more content. My name is Mike Andes. You've been listening to the Business Bootcamp Podcast. Until next time, be great, because nothing else pays.